My name is Lecturer Clergy Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome speaking in Kenya Republic, Nairobi National Government. And the reason why I'm called actually Bishop Kenya, I am a teacher in theology. I have taught paramilitary general service unit of, we call it an official force equivalent to Kenya Army in their capabilities of spiritual warfare and physical for 12 years, that is 2004 to 2016. And I've also taught African Church beside Bible College in Narok County Government for many years. Pastors normally who ended up being pastors, reverend, bishops. Many of them have interacted with them after graduation, and they are so successful. Many of them are in Nairobi here, particularly Ngong, and also others. I found even recently when I visited African Church, Kijabe Hospital, I met two of them who are very successful. They have big churches. They are also giving biblical therapist sick people. In that church, one of them is a Turkana priest, born priest, but is there. It's called Reverend James Ronyi, and also a Kikuyu from Kiambu, Reverend Peter Oweru. They have big churches, big cars. They are so successful spiritually and physically and socially and economically, among others anyway. So that is me, and I want to share with you the word of God from the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10 particularly. And I normally like to give you an overview of this book. Why was this book written? It was written actually sometimes after Jesus left, AD 63 to 65. We call it Anno Domini, after Jesus left. Sometime shortly after Paul was released from imprisonment in Rome. It was around there. And it was actually, to whom was it written and why? Paul wrote to Timothy, young pastor, with advice on how to better lead the church there at Ephesus, which is now the modern country of Turkey. So that is actually why I wrote this book. He wanted actually people to know that there are false teachers which are threatening that time and also to undermine Paul's work. And so he warned actually the young pastor, that was Timothy, to be very careful because he was his dear friend that time, and also advise him about the love of money, because leaders are being ravaged by that kind of a mess, particularly those people in position of authority. They normally end up in a problem of money. Love of money is not wanted. I also advise him about that, and that is why I said 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10, love of money. It is read like this: for the love of money is the root of all kind of evil. So people eager for money have wandered from their faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. That's what the Bible says here. Is the desire of money always a root of evil? That's the question also I need you to know. If you read again chapter 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 9 to 11, I want to ask you a question, and also I'm going to answer because I'm a lecturer clergy. I said maybe you may not know, so that's why I want to help assist you. Is a desire for money always a root of evil? Not always. One can desire money for Christ-centered kind of life, and also not for self-centered purposes. In other words, I say one can desire money to build actually the work of God, or which we call it is money which are centered for good work and to help the needy people in James 1:27. All right. And also, it can, but not in a self-centered kind of life, whereby you heap yourself money and refuse others people to die, like Kenyan politicians are doing. So Apostle Paul assured the people of that time, if you read actually verse 17 and 18 of the same, as 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 17 and 18, he actually counseled to the rich not to misuse their wealth, but to be humble people and to trust in God rather than money in that case, and to be also interested in good deeds which are godly, and not to bank themselves money in their accounts and deprive other human beings the money circulations around them. That is actually the key verse that you can focus. That is 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 17 and 18. The key to focus on the right things. So money are not bad, but the love of money for self-interest is what is bad. That's what we have learned from this place. All right. What do I want to say here? I am also a political preacher which is aspiring to be Kenya president come August 9, 2027 elections. And my vice president will be a retired Kenya Army brigadier, man who was actually in charge of Kenya band, kind of band musics, or actually experts, and he's called a brigadier Excellency Nick Kugubo Wanyonyi, born from Bungoma. Okay, he's from Bungoma. He's a retired Kenya Army. He was nearly to unseat the president, the third Kenya president, His Excellency, the late Muigai Kibaki, in election 2007 elections. So narrowly missed it, and he also I deputized him last elections as vice president. But now we have exchanged that kind of guess, change of guard. I am now going to be the president come August 9, 2027. That's the way he has agreed. And I also agreed myself. So there's a change of guard. And we are going to use what we call Tumaini Liberation Movement Party. Alright, which is registered. You can check on Facebook, Twitters, and also other channels like YouTube now I'm using. We are going to be part of ODM, Orange Democratic Movement, of Supreme Power President, His Excellency Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is not going to fight for the presidency. That time, that is 2027, but I am going to marry his daughter, East Africa Legislative Assembly Member of Parliament, to be my first lady wife, Honorable Winnie Imgad Raila Amolo Odinga. She is going also to be a president of yes, because the wife of a president is also a president. Alright, so she's going to be my wife. We have actually worked out on that on many other channels, media, communications. I visited also the office of the Supreme Power President. I've also greeted him one time recently. I've also shared this with his relatives, like the office of the Dr. Uhuru. That is based in Kenyatta International Convention Center, first floor, and nobody has objected. Neither the girl, Honorable Winnie Raila Amolo Odinga or Winnie Imgad Raila Amolo Odinga, she has not objected so far. And also my other people, so Samburu, I'm a Samburu president, Maasai subtribe, from Marsabit, Upper Eastern, near the border of Kenya and Ethiopia. That's why we look like Ethiopians. But I'm a Samburu Maasai subtribe. Alright, crossbred along the border, probably. And that's not a big issue. So I came from there. We call it Mukunduya, Kenya. The bottom part of Kenya in all developments. But it's going to be the top there when I will be the president. We are going to help them because now we don't have development or kind of underdevelopment in that part of the country. So what I want to say, money are the root of evils if they are used badly. Like the way our president is using money to get us administrators. They don't allow people to be in the offices even to check them. That's why even one of the ministers was chased recently and survived narrowly from Murang'a County Government. That is none other than Honorable, Moses Kuria. He was robbed up. People have beaten him up. And many other parts of the country. Western, alright, called it Mombasa, Murang'a, and so many other parts, Upper Eastern, Northeastern. People have now started to beat up these politicians. Okay? Because they are now misusing money. And the amount of the money loan by the state, this ruthless and stable leadership of our president, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, the money he has borrowed now, this 12, about 1 year, 12 months, he has borrowed more money than the money borrowed for decades, that is 10 years, by the retired president, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, for 1 year. And he used it wisely. President Uhuru Kenyatta used the money wisely. We did not have even ourselves, Marsabit did not have a tarmac road. We have now a tarmac road from Nairobi, national government, to Ethiopia. Even it's passing one of my ranches, land, at the Kamau, like some constituencies, although also I own some properties, some farms, big farms, in some constituencies likewise. My farm, Kamau location, subwards, in like some constituencies, actually the tarmac road is passing there. Just like the way this one now next to my house, yeah, which was built by British government in 1956, and the British government have given us, okay, because this is not a Kenya government now of these blacks. It was built by Queen Elizabeth, the first female president of Kenya in 1952, as the one who have handed power to these blacks to destroy the country in 1963. Alright? That is actually the female woman, British during colonial time. Then best government ever, nice British government. Now it is very bad. Now these blacks have destroyed the country. So the amount of money loaned by our president is actually Dr. William Ruto for 12 months, and we don't know where the money are going. Is actually more than the money our retired President Uhuru Kenyatta has borrowed for 10 years since he took over from leadership. Okay? And he went recently, he retired recently, last year. The money borrowed by this government, ruthless government, which is very corrupt, called Dr. William Ruto, he has borrowed more money than the money the other government has borrowed for 10 years. And they have used it wisely. They have been cushioning elderly people. Every month people are given money to survive. All needy people are given money. All youth are given money, those who are not employed. Constantly people are employed every year. And many of them from rich families and poor families. So the last government of Jubilee was using money wisely. And I think that's why now the President Ruto now is blaming them. Because now he is a failure in his leadership for 1 year. So what we want to say here, the president needs to tell us where are this money going. Alright? He is now even importing petroleum oil when we have already petroleum here in Turkana land. And when you go to where these people are, is politicians, if you go to Intercontinental Parliament, which is a rental kind of a building for all members of Parliament of Kenya, and also senators are renting, the former president Kibaki, Intercontinental. And I don't know whether even this Kenyatta Convention Center is also rented, because our politicians have no offices. You will not find them. And now they are giving actually Jubilee, this UDA, the ruling table government of our president, Dr. William Ruto, is putting his own people there, security men, Kalenchins, and a few Kikuyus, okay? And Luyas, very few of them, to refuse people to see actually the elected leaders, be it senators, be it members of parliament, be it ministers. They call themselves, cabinet secretaries. They will not be, they are not accessible until they are now hibernating like frogs until August 9, 2027. They will appear here again and come and ask us to elect them, to re-elect them, to eat our money. So I concur with the actually Muranga voters for actually wrapping up a person who was going to enjoy them, to give them another promises which are not there. Moses Kuria, Minister Moses Kuria He went there to love, to enjoy dying people of anger at Muranga. So they have done a commendable job to ask him, where is our money? And wrapped him up. Okay? Najua kupiga mtoto na slippers. Na hii viatu ya slippers, ukipiga mtoto kidogo kodara hivi kupiga na asikia sauti, anafikiri umepigwa. Bado Ukuri hajapigwa, hakuna mtu amepiga, he was just wrapped up. Itakuja kupigwa kweli kweli. Bado. Na sio Kuria peke yake. Not only Honorable Kuria alone. We want all politicians, 290 elected members of parliament, and 67 elected senators, senators, plus those nominated to tell Kenyans where their money. If they come across you, ask them, where is our annual development money going? We don't want them to keep those money and they will again whip Kenyans, poor Kenyans, come 2027 using the same taxpayers' money. So, Muranga County government, I concur with that governor there, because people, probably the governor is giving people money because they don't have an issue with her. Okay, like now others, alright, and other politicians, but Kuria was singled out. So I want all 47 county government, 290 constituencies, 1,450 wards assemblies to ask those elected leaders, be it members of parliament, be it senators, be it actually members of county assembly, members of parliament, MCS, normally before they are called councillors, ask them their money, your money. Where are the annual development program money which are meant for, which are given them by the national government, if they have given them, and if the national government have not given them, because I saw also the chair lady of Council of Governors, okay, and Guru, asking the national government that why are they not giving them money. They should ask actually the national government, the minister of the treasury and Juguna, somebody Juguna there, I don't know. It is somebody in Juguna, Kikuyu man, minister, let him explain to Kenyan where the money. The National Treasury minister, alright? Where the money? And the President Secretary of National Treasury. To ask where are the money? Where are the money going? And the controller of budget must tell us where the money give us the reports. And relate this report to the chiefs, assistant chiefs. And then let them hold, baraza like during Kenya, during Moi era. During Moi leadership, the best of the best. I was President Moi pastor. At African Church, Kabartonjo church, which was built by the president himself by using 40 million shillings of his own. And he owned the church. He has the SOD. Okay? The sister of the president, younger sister, Honorable Rebecca Chelimo Sote, was the chair lady of the church. AIC Kabartonjo, but it's not an AIC church. It is the president's church. A straight building. Alright. And president has built using 40 million of his own money. In 1978, when he got actually, God granted him to be president, he built that church and other, Moi schools, so many Moi girls, particularly girls, because Moi was President Moi was a very humble man, and also he was most of the time the prefect of girls, particularly, and also boys, but particularly that's why you hear so many across the country, Moi girls, and there's no Moi boys. All right. So the president actually was uplifting the women, which is also okay, gender rule now. So what do I want to say here? We want this administration of the president to tell us where the money are going. They are channeling the money. We don't want them to go every day to State House, which was built by British government in 1907, and they are just keeping on renovating it. They don't even increase their, building for people to live. Okay? It was a governor, which was the president that time, in 1920 to 1963. The government was a British government, because we are battered by the British. The title deed of Kenya is owned by the British up to today. Yes, they're the one who have been the first government. So this one will not brag. We are not supposed to brag themselves that we are the one who have started the government. No, it was God who have used the British to be eye opener for us all, and I respect them. Huh? I thank the British. Even the house I'm living was built by British government. And although now I'm owning it, and 250,000 people are living in Nairobi national government, the houses which was built by British. And all these buildings, you see even in central business district, even everywhere, they are just built, these buildings, they are built by British. This one, black have done nothing. So what we want to tell Kenyans, ask these human beings which we have elected, where the money? And they have to report to the, to the administration. They have to tell the MCS a protocol that we want them to follow, a chain of command. From senators, okay, from which is the upper house, members of lower house, which is members of parliament, MCS, members of county assembly, they have to tell administrators. They are not supposed to boycott the administrators. They have to tell chiefs and assistant chiefs, and also county commissioners, which we call the county commissioners and sub-county commissioners, okay, and administrators of all angles, from the regional county commissioners, which you call PC, they have to tell them the money. They have to give them the reports. Yes, we don't want the country to be under siege because of politicians. They have to give administrators, or they have to liaise with the administrators properly. In the next government, if I will be the president, every time the barracks must be held, like during my time. I was President Moi pastor for so many years. All right, spiritual advisor of the president. Okay, and he used also to bring other politicians to the church. It's a big church which can hold over 10,000 human beings. It's a straight building measuring 200 feet by 60 feet, and a straight building with a media house. All right. So actually, people must tell us how they are spending this money, and administrators must know this. They must have files given to them by the politicians, because Kenya now is being ruled by politicians. They have already boycotted all administrators. They are just like civilians. All right, which is not right. Otherwise, I want the money borrowed by the president, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, to give us how this money are used in capital expenditure form, in recurrent expenditure form, and also in supplementary form. Every year, they have to give us a handing over on August 9, 27 election. If they fail to give us and handing over notes, all politicians in all yearly annual development project programs, we will freeze their accounts and return the money, and they go home. We will not even borrow outside money. That's my word for them. Remember, I am telling them, if they will not give us exactly from the time they have taken an office, which is now last year, August 9, 2022, until August 9, 2027 elections, the president must, and his administration, Dr. William Ruto, Excellency, they have to give us an handing over notes the same day, so that we start work the following day to help Kenyans who are needy, and to employ even youth from all sectors. Be you at school or not, you will be engaged, you will be recruited in Kenya Army, police, and all security sectors. We don't want papers to shoot someone, to shoot a gun, or to donate bombs. All right? Does not need anything. You have to be told just practically, like the way you are told to cook food. Anyone can shoot you, even a child, even anybody, even a woman, even a man. So we don't let this guy bring what certificate. Those certificates for securities, although few of them will employ them also, particularly rich people, we will now employ poor people's sons and daughters come next government. Okay? If your father is working and your mother, you will not be employed. You will be also give other people. We will consider you in other sectors. You will not be guaranteed job unless the whole family is poor. We will now consider that kind of a system in the next government, or if I will be, God willing, because I know I will be the president, August 9, 2027, or earlier, because this government is broke. So my conclusion of this matter, since the president have actually borrowed more money in 1 year, and we don't know where the money are going. We don't know where he's now trying to recover the money he has been playing with during campaigns. For 10 years, the president has borrowed money, which is more than the previous government has borrowed for 10 years and used it properly. We don't know where this money are channeled. And we want this politician to appear to come on barazas every month or every weekly even, because they are not in offices. And we don't want security to restrict the people not to see them. Don't make a mistake to do that. Otherwise, we will order people to go to those offices by force. Alright? Yes. If you want to go an office and miss a member of parliament and you are because of securities, in fact, tell us so that we can go to that office to seek, and we will tell that person why are you not actually accepting people have voted for you to talk to you. We want them to be on offices every working days and hours until 2027, failure of which we will not agree them to be our leaders. We will let the people apply the way Muranga have applied to Honorable Moses Kuria, to chase him there like a dog. Alright? Because he's not a human being. He is not going there to enjoy human being. And others, not only Kuria, Moses Kuria. No. I'm just giving an example, like the way we have seen it. He was wrapped up by people who said, don't step here. So if you see them around you, ask them, where is that no development money? And the President, His Excellency, Dr. William Samuel Ruto, because he's highly educated man, is also a priest. He's now employing a lot of pastors. He has a big church, which is okay. We don't mind about that. Even President Moi was doing that. To believe the work of God is okay. And even the Deputy President likewise doing that. He's married also to a priest, Pastor Dorcas. They are doing commendable job there in a spiritual world. Okay. We believe that they are employing trained pastors. That's what I believe. I don't think they are going to give people and train to cause spiritual accident like Gachagua, Mackenzie Mkamba tribe have done that priest. I hope they're employing actually trained pastors. They are doing commendable job there spiritually. Economically, socially, and they are not doing well. We want the president to prepare for the remaining about 6 months, because now 1 year is gone, and we normally, it's about 60 months, normally 5 years, 5 times 12 months is about 6 months, but if you remove also working days, they are about very few months. We want the president to prepare his administration to give us handing over notes. I, Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome, who is actually anticipated to be the president come 2027, August 9, 2027 elections, together with my vice president, alright, His Excellency retired Brigadier Gugubo, together with my wife also, okay? My dear lady, very soon, no problem so far, I'm going to marry. East Africa Legislative Assembly Member of Parliament, okay? We need Imgat Raila Amolo Odinga, the youngest daughter of Kenya's Supreme Power People's President. Kenya Supreme People's Power President, young daughter, is also going to be my first wife, which is equivalent to a president in a way, because he has a say in that government. We want Dr. William Samuel Ruto to prepare to give us a handing over note properly, failure of which will freeze banks and return the money to where they belong. That's Central Bank of Kenya. Alright? And we'll use the money wisely to give people what annual development programs in the right way. Yes, that's what we are going to do. And employ people equally. Particularly, hii machokora yote hii watu wanakakaa hapa wamekosa kazi na wako na madigrii. We are going to employ them. Yes. 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 That's what we are going to do. Otherwise, may God bless you, human being living in Kenya and beyond. And remember, the incoming government is a God-oriented one. It is a coalition of ODM. We call it the Tumaini Liberation Movement. God-oriented government based on Proverbs 29, verse 2. That when the God-fearing people are on the throne, people will enjoy the government. And that's what I want to use. All right? Proverbs 29 verse 2. We want to apply that. All right? We want to apply that. And we are going to apply that. All right? And we are going to be a kind of a working peak government, not a sleepy government like this one. Day and night, you have to work. In Ezekiel 33 verse 6 and 9, you will be a sentry fully to serve Kenyans. Failure of which, you will be held accountable. All right? To face what is called actually as a fair kind of punishment, including even death penalty, if you mess up to kill people in a corrupt kind of manners, be it physical or in corruption form, to deny them their social welfares. We will handle those bulls by the horns and hivers who are in leadership to be accountable in their leadership completely. Otherwise, may God bless you, human being living in Kenya and beyond. Amen.